多分つくから、これで。大丈夫。
ありがとうございます。
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to thank you all for attending the Tokyo Forum for Clean City and Clear Sky today. The forum is scheduled to commence at 9:30. 皆様、本日はきれいな空と都市、東京フォーラムにお越しいただきまして誠にありがとうございます。開会は9時30分を予定しております。今しばらくお待ちください。 Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. May I have your attention, please? Tokyo Forum 2018 will begin in short moment, so please be seated. Before we begin the forum, I would like to make a few reminders. I would like to ask you to take a moment to turn off your cell phones or switch them to silent mode during the forum. Also, please refrain from eating or drinking inside the room. If you are using an interpretation device, for Japanese, please turn to channel 1. For English, channel 2. For Russian, channel 3. For Mongolian, please turn to channel 4. For Burmese, channel 5. For Vietnamese, please use channel 6. For Chinese, please turn to channel 7. And for Korean, please turn to channel 8. Please select your language accordingly. After the forum, please leave the interpretation device on the table or on your seat. Thank you for your cooperation. 皆様、まもなくフォーラムを開催させていただきます。開始に先立ちまして、皆様にお願いがございます。 携帯電話、スマートフォンは電源をお切りいただくか、マナーモードにご設定ください。また、室内での飲食はご遠慮いただきますようお願い申し上げます。同時通訳レシーバーをお持ちの方は、日本語はチャンネル1、英語はチャンネル2にご調節ください。それでは開会まで今しばらくお待ちください。 Ladies and gentlemen, we now begin the Mayoral Plenary Session 2, Global Partnerships for Sustainable Development. We'd like to start the forum right now, so please be seated. Thank you. Once again, the moderator for this session will be Mr. Hironori Hamanaka, Chair of ICLEI Japan. So over to you, Mr. Hamanaka. では、浜中育玲理事長、よろしくお願いいたします。
Thank you very much. And distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen, good morning.
Good morning.
Yesterday, we had a mayoral plenary session in the morning and the parallel sessions in the afternoon. In the plenary session, distinguished leaders shared their insights on sustainable urban development. In the parallel sessions, technical and practical issues on waste management and air quality were discussed. Building on our discussion yesterday, in this plenary session, we would like to focus on opportunities for further collaboration and cooperation, and bearing global partnership for sustainable development in mind, we would like to deepen our discussion on how we can collaborate to make our cities more sustainable. So let's begin today's session with the reports from session moderators to review the discussions yesterday. Firstly, let me report the plenary session 1. Cities increasingly play an important role in achieving global goals, including the Paris Agreement and SDGs. And one of the purposes of this session was to share and exchange ideas on some of the good practices implemented by cities participating in the Tokyo Forum for Clean City and Clear Sky to further advance local actions for clean cities and clear skies. Mayors, governors, and distinguished representatives from 10 cities and regions share their measures in tackling the unique local challenges they face, including those regarding waste management and air quality. The cities represented were geographically and culturally quite diverse, and therefore the topics addressed varied as well. It ranged from challenges such as reducing food waste, managing urban sprawl, and introducing cleaner transportation to approaches such as using data as a way to tell a story and adopting aggressive citywide goals for reducing greenhouse gas emissions. My summary obviously doesn't do justice to the great efforts implemented by each of these cities. But one of the common messages that was expressed by many of the cities was the importance of leadership and citizen engagement to make their cities more livable and to drive inclusive, sustainable development. This was also emphasized by Her Excellency Helen Clark as she shared her comments after the presentations. Mrs. Clark reiterated that we will not see the achievement of the Sustainable Development Goals unless our cities achieve sustainable development. In closing, local leaders also share their excitement and hopes to learn from one another so that together they can lead the way in advancing sustainable urban environments. Now, let me invite parallel session moderators to make brief reports on sessions you moderated yesterday afternoon. First, may I invite Professor Tomoko Okayama, Associate Professor, Taisho University, to report on the parallel session on waste management.
Okay. Thank you for introducing me, Vice Chairman. Good morning, distinguished delegate and all the participants in this hall. I'm Tomoko Okayama, Associate Professor of Taisho University. I'm going to share what we have discussed in the parallel session 1, waste management, which we had yesterday afternoon. I played the role of moderator in the first part of the session, in which officers from 7 cities and UNEP IETC joined. We have shared information, and it was very fruitful for each of us. Most cities have experience to treat increasing municipal waste, sometimes struggle to introduce 3R to waste management policy. Common subject is citizen cooperation to reduce, reuse, and separate to recycle waste. Then, some cities have different manners to treat food waste, for example. Some cities already have advanced waste treatment plants and infrastructure, but some cities have problems to treat organic waste, its huge amount, and need technology, high-spec infrastructure or facilities. So, in our session, we discussed about how to get citizens and stakeholders partnership to recycle food waste. Yes, there are so many recycle methods technologically: composting, eco-feeding, anaerobic digestion, biogas and generation, disposing to sewage, and so on. However, such a technology is applicable depend on the climatological and socio-economic conditions, including public awareness. Through the discussion in the session, a lot of experiences and practices, as environmental education to the student and the encouragement of the student. We share the importance of role of engaged partnership with the students, and the cities agree that continuous cooperation at the field level is necessary. All the cities have to introduce SDGs 12 to their waste management policy now. We really understand it is important to cooperate each other to build a sustainable clean city. I hope it is becoming Team Mottainai, Tokyo governor said yesterday. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Okayama, for your report on the Waste Management Session 1. Next, may I invite Professor Eiji Hosoda, Professor, Keio University, to report on the Waste Management Session 2.
Thank you indeed, Chairman. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Eiji Hosoda, Professor of Economics, Keio University. As a moderator of the second part of the Waste Management Session, I'm very pleased to make a brief report on the discussion we had yesterday. 6 city officers around the world and a senior director of the Tokyo Organizing Committee of the Olympic and Paralympic Games participated in the session on circular economy. Global resource consumption is anticipated to increase rapidly, mainly due to the growth of emerging economies. Establishing a circular economy has become a common and urgent agenda on a global scale. In our session, participants delivered presentations about various 3R policies on which they are working every day, including separate collection, reduction of plastic shopping bags, food waste reduction, and urban mining projects such as Tokyo 2020's Medal Project. Several cities in our session indicated, in order to promote these 3R projects, one of the most important things is citizens' engagement. I think industries or business sectors also should take an essential part in building a circular economy. To encourage citizens and private companies to go toward a circular economy, we need some inspiring concepts. Mottainai, which means it's too precious to waste, the word which the governor of Tokyo mentioned yesterday, is one of those concepts. As all of you know, this century is often called the century of cities. Constructing more resource-efficient cities should be the key for achieving the Goal 12 of United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. That is, ensure sustainable consumption and production patterns. Finally, let me add one thing. In our session, Milan presented a great example of sustainable mega event, Expo Milano 2015. I hope that Tokyo 2020 will follow the good example of Milan and enhance the engagement of citizens and private sectors to create sustainable Olympic Paralympic Games. Thank you indeed.
Thank you, Professor Hosoda, for your report on the Waste Management Session 2. Finally, may I invite Dr. Toshimasa Ohara, Research Director, Fukushima Branch, National Institute for Environmental Studies, Japan, to report on the air quality session 1 and 2.
Yes, thank you for Chairperson. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Toshimasa Ohara of National Institute for Environmental Studies of Japan. I would like to report on the results of discussions of air pollution session yesterday afternoon. First of all, I'd like to thank all guests of 12 cities, C40, and keynote speaker, Professor Hajime Akimoto, for attending and discussing in the session. Participating cities are Jakarta, Ulaanbaatar, Bangkok, Hanoi, Hong Kong, Singapore, Ho Chi Minh, Beijing, Changwon, Milan, Tokyo, and Yokohama. Through the discussions, all participants shared current status of urban air pollution, facing tasks, several actions, and future plan for clear sky in each city. Our discussions focus on two questions. Choose clear sky, what is an effective solution, and how to build a global partnership for clear air. Based on our discussion, the importance of three solutions to clear sky was shared. That is understanding, technology, and policy, just 3 words. Understanding is better understanding current status of air pollution based on monitoring, modeling, and its integrations is important for effective policy making. Technology is advanced technology such as zero-emission vehicle, and its integration is a key solution to the clear sky. And policy is a co-benefit policy of clear sky and cool earth is key concept in future, especially in Asia. And also we shared which action is needed in the next step. First action is all participating cities make more efforts for improving urban air quality and make collaboration. And second is global partnership for clear sky and healthy city should be strengthened. Our final conclusion is cities in the world lead to effort to clear air and make strong collaboration. We sincerely hope that our discussion lead to improvement of urban air quality and achievement of third goal of SDGs, good health, and 11th goal, sustainable cities. Thank you very much for attention.
Thank you, Dr. Ohara, for your report on the air quality session 1 and 2. And I thank you very much once again for your concise reports on each parallel session. Having heard all the session summaries, I would like to invite comments from distinguished participants. And I think that due to the flight schedule, may I invite Deputy Governor of Ulaanbaatar first, His Excellency Batobaya Sakaran. You have the floor.
Hello, everyone. Энэхүү хотуудын доктортой хөгжлийг хангах хотын дарганы.
So, hello everyone. So, this is the Tokyo Forum for Sustainable Cities. Thank you for inviting me to participate in this forum. My gratitude goes to the Governor of Tokyo, Ms. Yuriko Koike. Governor Koike is taking a leadership in leading officials of the Tokyo, and I would like to extend my gratitude to your very warm welcome and omotenashi hospitality. So to host this kind of conference, to generate certain outcome and for the future of the Earth, being participated by a lot of cities to be united is a wonderful endeavor. Each country, each international organization has a different situation. Presentations are being made in which different experiences are being shared, and those presentations have been very useful for me to learn from for protection of the Earth and the environment. We live on this Earth, we share it, we breathe the same air. That is why the issue of global warming and climate change needs to be addressed by all of us together wherever we live. Natural environment is based on water, soil, air. How can we nurture those elements and protect them? These are the things I have learned from this forum. And we also made a presentation from Ulaanbaatar. First and foremost, we would like to reduce the usage of resources, and 3R, we would like to practice that concept, reuse, recycle. And green development is another area we are working on, and also circular economy to reuse natural resources. So we need to have common understanding here among us all. So all of the city representatives here today, I wish you all the best for further success in these areas. All of you here today, I wish you all the best for your prosperity in your work in this area, because we live on this same Earth, we breathe the same air. And I would like to invite you to Ulaanbaatar in Mongol. I would like to welcome you all in my city in the future.
Thank you very much for your very kind remarks and your kind invitation to your country and to your city. Thank you very much. Now I would like to invite distinguished representatives of other cities and regions to the round table. Would anyone would like to start? Yeah, please, Mr. Wan.
Good morning, Chairman, and also good morning, Tokyo Governor. I found the event very useful and inspiring. In particular, I would like to highlight and echo the three keywords highlighted by the Tokyo Governor about the awareness, about the innovation and technology, and about the policy and systems. And I have an idea that these three aspects are very useful for mayors and also for different cities to work further on that. So probably in future events, forums, an idea is to say focus on these 3 areas. Say what are the relevant technologies and innovations, then we can share and talk about it. And then what are the relevant policies and systems, and then we can share. And last but not least is about, say, how to raise the environmental awareness. For instance, in Hong Kong, as I checked with Sydney Deputy Mayor earlier when she was in Hong Kong initiated a campaign we call the Big Waster, similar to the Japanese word that you highlight is not to waste, it's so valuable and precious. So we have worked on that campaign for about 5 years, and it's very successful. It's probably the most liked social media figure in Hong Kong. So I think there are other cities may have similar environmental awareness campaign that we can share and learn from each other. So just an idea. And thank you again, Tokyo Governor.
Thank you very much, Mr. Wang, for a very important contribution to the discussion. Yes, Mayor Zandir Gumede, please.
Thanks, Chairperson, Governor Kyoki. Thank you so much for your warm welcome within your city and also warm hospitality. It's been a home away from home, and we really appreciate your invitation. This forum is a reminder on how poor waste management can have a negative impact in our cities, crippling the well-being of our citizens as well as the environment. That is not the legacy we want to leave as mayors of the world. Waste management initiatives are very much important. Hence, we want to have, as mayors, clearly defined policies, and also we need to prioritize them in their cities to make sure that we are having our sustainable goals of having clean environment. Reduce, reuse, and recycle for me was very much important aspect on all what you've spoken about. And through this forum, it has become clear that as mayors, our cities need to be inclusive and also more livable. We need to support one another in developing the policies that are spoken about, and let us rise above the challenges and pressures that we are facing as cities by ensuring that our cities attract more clean investments and inclusive socio-economic justice to the environment of our citizens. And let us not stop engaging. Let us continue sharing ideas, and of course, on my side, technologies are very much important because they can move us forward. Strong leadership within our cities is crucial. That's what I've picked up, and I really appreciate the forum that we've been. Governor Kyoki, I'm looking forward to visit other cities, and I'm also looking forward that other cities of the world can also visit eThekwini in Durban. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mayor Zandir Gumede, for your very important inputs. Yes, Mr. Ronnie Tay from Singapore.
Thank you, Chair. First, let me thank Governor Koike again for kindly hosting us. I found this conference very useful, both the plenary session yesterday morning and the 2 afternoon sessions. I moved between the 2 half sessions, both on the air pollution one and on the waste management one, and I found it very insightful. I just wanted to, since this morning's session is on partnerships, I just want to make some comments, citing some examples from Singapore. I remember Governor Koike's Shin Kai. So I remember yesterday I made some remarks about the Shin, about citizen engagement. So a couple of points using Governor Koike's frame. Jin, the technology. I think that's one area where there's great potential for partnership. Just some examples from Singapore. We have got research programs put in place to manage waste. There's one program called Closing the Waste Loop, where we try to look for innovative technologies to better manage recycled waste. Another example, our infrastructure waste-to-energy facility that we are building is more than the waste-to-energy facility because it's also got a material sorting facility, food waste digestion, in combination also with the wastewater treatment plant. I think in the area of technology, we can benefit very much from partnerships, especially across academia and industry, which is another important stakeholder group. I think there's some evidence of that in this forum as well, looking at the motorcycles that we have here. The other area is the systems and policies. And I'll say that there's also a great opportunity for partnerships. I personally can say example between Singapore and Japan, where we have annual bilateral discussions with the Ministry of Environment Japan. And every time we come to Japan, we also do visits. And I've also personally been kindly hosted by the Tokyo Metropolitan Government officials in visiting your facilities. And this afternoon, we have more opportunities to do that too. So I think in the area of technology, in the area of policies, there's great opportunities for cities and governments to share and learn from one another. And finally, this forum, this platform itself is another excellent example of such a potential for partnerships. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Tay, for your very important inputs. May I invite other? Yes, Mayor Mansour, please.
So first, I would like to thank the Governor of Tokyo and the Chair and also the expert, the moderator that we have shared this morning. Yesterday morning, we start with the Shinji-kai and end with the Motaina. It's very, crucial words for our life and how to development for our process for all the cities. And also, the main topic, what I have learned from the yesterday is from start with the 3 R's, reduce, reuse, and recycles, and that turn to the how to use in the circular economy. And then, if a circular economy can succeed, then we can provide the green land and clean cities and clear skies. So this process is very clear, and the only one is we have to do like this in near future for our city development. And also, when we talk about another sustainable development. So when we talk about another sustainable development, first we need the substantial situations. So without the substantial situation, we can meet to the sustainable development. So one thing is, in this situation, we need about for the partnerships between. So in the partnerships, there is 3 levels. The first one is a local level. And at the local levels, the local policy, domestic policy are very important, especially for the macroeconomic policy is very important for the people. And also, we need the exposures and the stakeholders for the process. So who are the exposure and, what are the exposure and who are the stakeholders for the process? And also the institutional factors. This must be the substantial for the sustainable stages. And also, we have to learn about for the regional cooperation, such as for my Yangon city, we have to think about for the stakeholders between the local, the public and private partnerships. And also we have to think about for the ASEANs. So, and also we have to think about for the ASEAN +3. So ASEAN +3 is Japan, Korea, and China also. And also another one is we have to look to the West for the international. So when we talk about for the partnerships, we have to look about to the stakeholder about for the domestic and regional level and international level. If process is, if we can compromise between this level, we can have the substantial situation, and this will lead to the sustainable development. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mayor Mansu, for your contribution. May I invite other? Yes, Mr. Krugman from Paris.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. On behalf of C40 Chair Mayor Anne Hidalgo of Paris, I would like to thank you all again for making this event such a great success. It is crucial that local leaders agree on common milestones and join forces to implement the actions that the world needs to limit global temperature by 1.5 degrees. C40's core objective for the period 2016-2020 is that all member cities adopt a climate action plan compatible with the objectives of the Paris Agreement by 2020. Cities won't be able to implement these actions alone. It is only by establishing partnerships with national, subnational governments, as well as representatives from the private sectors and civil society at the global scale, that we will be able to transition to a low-carbon economy and to become carbon neutral by 2050. In October last year, 14 C40 mayors endorsed the Green and Healthy Streets Declaration and publicly committed to procure only zero-emission buses by 2025 and to ensure that the major area of the cities will be zero-emission by 2030. Building on the success of this declaration, C40 will promote similar shared commitments focusing on key areas identified by the recently launched Focus Acceleration Report, such as waste management, renewable energy, and zero-emission buildings. The Global Climate Action Summit, which will be held in San Francisco in September, will be a major milestone for our mayors and partners and a fantastic opportunity to announce such commitments while building a shared vision among cities, non-state actors, and lending businesses all over the world. Today's event is a great example of cities' growing goal on the international arena, demonstrating that cities, local government are uniquely well prepared to work together to limit global warming, reduce the impacts of climate change, and tackle pressing urban concerns. On behalf of Mayor Hidalgo, I want to salute again Governor Koike for demonstrating such a great leadership and commitment to ambitious actions that support broader urban sustainability goals. I wish you all a productive rest of the day. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Krugman, for your contribution, particularly focusing on the importance of our action to address climate change and zero emission for the future. Yes. May I invite Mr. Gwen Van Su? Yes.
Thưa các quý vị, và cảm ơn bà Koike, bà Thống đốc Koike đã cho Hà Nội chúng tôi tham gia diễn đàn ngày hôm nay.
Dear participants, in Vietnam and people in Hanoi, about sorting out of waste, talking about the awareness when a woman goes shopping and cooks. Of course, all of these processes generate garbage or waste. And in this process, we have incorporated the concept of 3 R's. 3 R's activities are being pursued and activated, and people are participating in the waste collection activities every Saturday morning. And they have been very actively participating in waste collection. And I think this is one of the achievements we've made so far. So one is waste collection. And the second is infrastructure development and investment into infrastructure development and investment into technologies to create better facilities for waste collection. In 2020, we are going to plant additional 1 million trees for greener city. In 2020, you in Tokyo are going to host the Tokyo Olympic Games. And months ago, I came to Tokyo, and we had interaction with the ministry in charge of forestry between the two countries, and we signed an agreement. Eggs, black tigers, and dragon fruit, those agricultural produces are to be provided to Japan from Vietnam. And for that, Hanoi is going to commit to stay green and clean. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Nguyen Van Su, for your contribution. May I invite other participants from the round table? Yes, Mr. Sergei Chvachkin.
Уважаемые коллеги, уважаемые губернаторы.
My respected friends and my very reverend Ms. Koike, the governor, for the past 2 days that I participated in this forum, I have learned a lot of experience and economic factors. And also, like this, such experience be shared is a very significant development. And Tolstoy, that the man of letters of Russia, says that there is a very wonderful quotation that all the family members are not unhappy if they join together. All the families are not completely happy, not completely unhappy. So that we have that unhappy element, however, that we do share that not everybody is unhappy, or that we have to join hands because we are imperfect.
Comments. May I invite other? Kobayashi-sama, Yokohama 市からお願いします。
From Yokohama, Mr. Kobayashi, please.
I am Kazumi Kobayashi, Deputy Mayor, City of Yokohama. I thank you for the opportunity to speak. From here, I will speak in Japanese. まず最初に
So firstly, this kind of international conference being hosted by Tokyo on a continuous basis, the governor of Tokyo and all the people involved in organizing this conference. Thank you very much, and I'd like to express my sincere respect to you all. So I am representing the city of Yokohama, and in that capacity, let me make the following comments. As for waste in the city of Yokohama, in the past, we had an initiative called G30. G30 means reduction of waste by 30%. Sorting out of waste will promote recycling while reducing the total amount of waste at the same time. So what's important here is, as has been pointed out already, engagement of citizens and also sharing of the problem together. So this initiative was promoted between the city and the citizens together. In order to create the circular economy, we are now focusing on reducing the food waste. At the same time, we are trying to promote social contribution through food or eating. So one of them is food bank. And of course, climate change is a big issue. And given the Paris Agreement, this autumn, we will review the action plan for global warming curbing. So we will have zero carbon Yokohama. At the earlier point in the latter half of this century, we would like to be decarbonized completely. And for that purpose, we would like to focus on the following points. Number one, we have 3.73 million in population. This is actually the biggest local government in Japan, apart from Tokyo. So the issue is housing. So the household reduction of global house gases is very important. So not only for newly built houses, but also for existing houses, we would like to promote higher efficiency and also higher density and also better technology such as LED to be used for lighting in all houses. And we've discussed such a thing in this conference, and this requires technological innovation by the private sector and also sharing of the awareness on the part of the citizens. So these are the focus areas we'll be working on going forward. So global partnership and also intercity network. Through those, we'd like to work together with the citizens of the city as well as the companies. So with this, I'd like to conclude my remarks. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kobayashi. The Circular Society establishment, especially the food loss, the measures, and also the Zero Carbon Yokohama, which is a part of the climate change mitigation, and especially how to reduce the household garbage and the waste has been your emphasis of the city. Thank you very much.
Any other participants around the table? Yes, Ms. Miller, please.
Thank you. Thank you, Governor Kiko, for having our delegation here in Tokyo. It's been wonderful to meet with your staff. What occurred to me when you were talking about the progress that Tokyo has made over the years is that Tokyo in the 60s and 70s was not a beautiful, clean city. Likewise, we saw that in Copenhagen, it was much easier to just simply take the rubbish and leave it somewhere. We know that broadly, the enemy of sustainability and the enemy of clean skies and clean air is convenience. So we also know that in order to take action on these important issues, we have to work hard and things can be difficult. But what I think gives us a great deal of hope and what we've seen today is that technology enables us to see the connections, not only between each other, but between the air and the sky and the waste a lot more clearly. And once we're able to understand and see the connections, we have the opportunity then to communicate these important connections back to our communities. When we're able to engage with our communities in a clear way and tell them an important story that resonates to them, like you have successfully here in Japan, we build power among the community. So as leaders of cities, we have a right to be impatient. We have a right to demand that other levels of government meet us and do the hard work that must be done, and that takes the form of stronger regulation and stronger policies. Because if we want to do twice as much in half the time, we need to take action quickly. And it's only through building a movement and representing the many millions of peoples that we do collectively within our cities that I think that the other levels of government will feel this movement coming toward them, and that we will achieve the important action more quickly. So it's been a great learning opportunity for Sydney to be here, to learn with our friends. We also acknowledge that everybody is at a different stage of the journey, and wherever possible, if we can leapfrog and learn from each other so that the action can happen quickly, then we owe it to ourselves, and we also owe it to all of our citizens to do that. So it's been a great honour to be here among you all. You're all very intelligent, you're all wonderful leaders, so I look forward to continuing to work with you all in future.
Thank you, Ms. Miller, for your contribution to the discussion. Now, may I invite Ms. Koike to make a comment?
Yes. First of all, dear distinguished participants, I'd like to thank you for your great participation and contribution to Tokyo Forum for Clean City and Clear Sky. And also, I'd like to thank your great contribution for bringing your old mobile phones to reuse it or recycle it to the medals for 2020 Olympic and Paralympic Games. Maybe it will be a circular economy because your athlete can bring them back as a medal through the games. Now, I would like to wrap up our Tokyo policies toward the clean city and clear sky. And also, I would like to thank you for your great understanding to really understand the concept of two Japanese words. One is shingitai, and the second is the mottainai, water is too precious to waste. First of all, shingitai, once again, mind, skill, and body represents changing awareness, technological innovation, and system or policies. Aiming for a sustainable city, Tokyo will advance initiatives in an integrated manner through the elements of the three elements, shingitai. To have each person feel the need to protect the environment is the key. So Tokyo will create Team Mottainai in partnership with volunteers, companies, NGOs, and other organizations. And this team will encourage people to take thoroughly eco-friendly actions. And by 2030, Tokyo aims to have zero-emission vehicle account for 50% of all new cars sold. This is very, very ambitious target because currently the new car sold in Tokyo, only 2.1% is a real eco car. So 50% of all new cars sold to be eco-conscious or hybrid, PHV, fuel cell, and electric vehicle, EV, is quite high target. But by using Shingitai, I'd like to move forward, move this Tokyo forward for zero emission city. Now, TMG will work with industries to promote the diffusion of products with low environmental impact, such as ZEV and electric motorcycles. So, once again, I'd like to thank your presence at this Tokyo Forum, and I'd like to thank from the bottom of my heart for your great contribution. And it is said that 21st century is a century of cities. Now we have confirmed that Paris Agreement is active and positive among cities, and sometimes cities can lead the initiative to make the central government to go forward, to be sustainable and a sustainable world. Thank you very much for your contribution once again.
Thank you very much, Ms. Koike, for your remarks. Now, I would like to invite distinguished representatives of extend the invitation to other distinguished participants to the parallel sessions yesterday. If anyone have additional points for enriching our discussion, please raise your hand and show your contribution. Would anyone would like to make a contribution? I wonder whether a representative from C40 would like to make any comments. Yes? Mike.
Well, good morning, everyone. I guess on behalf of C40, we would like to thank. This is really an enriching conversation. I think one of the key things that stood out for us is discussion on air quality and waste management. Doesn't happen often. For example, if you discuss about waste, it's not as emphasized, I think, or sometimes it's something that's sort of like in the radar. You don't see the waste, it's out there, and so where does it fit in terms of sustainable goals? One of the things that we've discussed too is that how do you relate waste management, air quality with each other, but at the same time, I think we are talking about low carbon and addressing climate change. So I guess on behalf of C40, we've always mentioned when you talk about addressing climate change, whether it's mitigation or adaptation, it actually supports the broader urban agenda. And when we talk about supporting the broader urban agenda, it means really on the ground, it's the lives of citizens. It's making cities livable. It's making cities healthier for the community. So I distinctly remember just earlier the question of Mr. Tay from Singapore. Why is C40 working on air quality? Or when you talk about waste management? Because we believe that when you talk about climate change, it's not sitting independently. When you talk about climate actions, those actions are not mutually exclusive in terms of what we call the co-benefits. I think there were a lot of discussions in terms of transportation, low emissions vehicles. When you talk about waste, you're actually talking about short-lived climate pollutants when you talk about methane, black carbon, and that actually complements each other. So one action could actually have multiple benefits. And one of the things is really air quality. Less cars on the road that consumes fossil fuel free, that emits carbon, but at the same time actually emits the particulate matter, contributes to both goals. So I guess a lot of the cities here, and we are really heartened that C40 is recognized as a contributor to the efforts of the cities. Our key role is to facilitate knowledge among the cities. It's good to hear from the Deputy Lord Mayor of Sydney. I always use the word leapfrog. At this stage, wherein we are talking about peaking emissions in 2020, the clock is ticking. Even as we sit here, urban policies are being decided, being implemented, and programs are happening on the ground. The challenge for all of us, cities and citizens, businesses, universities, and all stakeholders is to move fast and to move in the right direction. And I think hearing the cities the past days, I feel confident and hopeful that we are doing a lot. And yes, cities would need to deliver the Paris Agreement together with all the other partners. C40 is very happy to partner with everyone, and I look forward, as the rest of the team, to working with you closely on specific projects, but more importantly, with the vision and the ambition of each cities to make the cities better and happier citizens as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, representative from C40, to make your contribution, particularly focusing on or emphasizing the importance of addressing climate change, and also recognizing there are many co-benefits between those efforts to address climate change as well as between and those actions to address other very urgent local challenges addressing air pollution or waste management. Thank you very much. And are there any other representatives, participants to the parallel sessions yesterday, or any other participants in the Tokyo Forum? If you wish to make contributions. Seems to be none. Thank you very much. So perhaps it's time to wrap up this session. Over the past 1.5 days, we have discussed the roles that cities can play in advancing sustainable urban development. Yesterday, we had cities from all over the world share their good practices. Today, we return to this forum to think collectively how cities and regions can build even better partnerships. The focus of our discussions has broadly been on sustainable development, focusing on the unique local challenges we face, including those regarding waste management and air quality. Our discussion also included the importance of addressing the urgent challenge of climate change, and also the importance of recognizing the co-benefits that can exist between among the efforts to address waste management or air quality improvement and climate change. Recognizing this co-benefits, I think these building on this recognition, I'm sure perhaps we need to be simultaneously address and climate change efforts can be addressed, and perhaps this could be at the center of concerns when we seek sustainable urban development. In this sense, I would like to point out that discussions we have had over the past 1.5 days are quite useful, and it is highly desired that we build on our discussions at the Tokyo Forum and pursue opportunities for further discussion. At the global level, for your information, a process called the Talanoa Dialogue is being implemented in various countries across the world, which aims to engage all levels of government as nations redefine their nationally determined contributions to raise their ambition to achieve the long-term goal of the Paris Agreement. With the collaboration of the United Nations Climate Change Secretariat and the COP23 presidency, local and regional governments and their networks launched the Cities and Regions Talanoa Dialogues to foster multi-level policy dialogue, coordination, collaboration, and coherence among relevant processes and initiatives for raising the ambition of nationally determined contributions. More than 50 sessions of Cities and Regions Talanoa Dialogues will take place throughout the year in 45 countries, equally distributed in the global north and global south, to facilitate a multi-stakeholder process. As global collaboration has been the underpinning theme and spirit of this forum, I strongly believe that the discussion led by the cities and regions here in Tokyo would be a valuable contribution to the Talanoa process. I also hope that when you return to your home countries, each one of you will help facilitate inclusive multi-stakeholder engagement process to raise the ambition of global action for climate protection and sustainable development. Thank you very much for your valuable comments and an interesting discussion. And I think Ms. Koike and the Tokyo Metropolitan Government to host the Tokyo Forum and invite us all to join discussions over the past and half days. Thank you very much. Now, distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for us to conclude this session based on and the discussions we've made over the past 1.5 days, the draft of the Tokyo Declaration has been prepared. Ms. Koike, could you please share the draft with us?
Thank you very much, Mr. Moderator Hamanaka. Now, on behalf of the Tokyo Forum participants, I'd like to declare how to realize clean city and clear skies as our conclusion. Now, Tokyo Declaration on Realization of Clean Cities and Clear Skies. The 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development, which has Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs at its core, was adopted at the General Assembly of the United Nations in 2015. Pledging that no one will be left behind, the agenda is committed to achieving sustainable development in its 3 dimensions: economic, social, and environmental, in a balanced and integrated manner. This makes it even more crucial for cities to serve a concrete and active role. We, the cities of the world, have been undertaking ambitious efforts to address the challenges of waste management, material cycling, and air pollution, which have serious impacts on citizens' health and quality of life. Moreover, in order to serve our roles as the world's major cities, at the Tokyo Forum for Clean City and Clear Sky, which was held in Tokyo on May 22 and 23, 2018, we shared our policies and knowledge, discussed solutions, and agreed to make it our goal to realize a sustainable urban environment. At the forum, we shared the following vision to pursue. Our vision: achieving clean cities where the concept of mottainai, which is too precious to waste, is expanding. Sustainable consumption and production are making advances, and proper waste management of reduction, recycling, and detoxification is secured. Achieving pleasant, clear skies with reduced health risks through significant reduction of the concentration of air pollutants. With the goal of realizing this vision, we, the leaders and representatives of the world's major cities, have agreed to commit to the following. First, initiative to realize the vision. Positioning waste management measures and material cycling, along with improvement of the air environment, as priority challenges to address, we will study and implement world-leading policies while also considering matters such as the economic, social, and geographic characteristics of each respective city. To improve resource efficiency, we will advance measures such as reducing food waste. To improve waste management, we will adhere to the principles of reduction, recycling, and detoxification, advance the building of a better recycling system, and spread awareness of waste management among citizens. In addition, in order to reduce air pollutants, we will adopt effective measures such as actively promoting the diffusion of zero-emission vehicles and other next-generation vehicles, and advancing measures against PM 2.5 and oxidants. For the implementation of measures, we will aim to create a social movement through comprehensive advancement of various activities, including rising enthusiasm among the citizens, cooperating with private companies that have excellent technologies, and building effective systems and policies. We will strive to share our city's best practices and maintain and strengthen our close global partnership. We will cooperate actively with international organizations and institutions such as the C40 Cities Climate Leadership Group, ICLEI Local Governments for Sustainable Japan, International Cooperation Agency JICA, and the World Bank, and contribute to advancing waste management measures, promoting our material cycle society, and improving the air environment of the world cities. Participating cities: Tokyo, Auckland, Bangkok, Beijing, Changwon, Copenhagen, Durban, Hanoi, Ho Chi Minh, Hong Kong, Jakarta, Milan, Paris, Quezon City, Seoul, Singapore, Sydney, Taipei, Tomsk, Ulaanbaatar, Yangon, Yokohama. May 23rd, 2018. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ms. Koike. And I am informed that the distinguished participants from cities and regions at the round table have kindly reviewed the draft in advance, and that their inputs have been reflected in this final version. So, with your permission, I would like to ask the distinguished participants around the table to express your intention to approve the declaration by applause. I thank you very much. The Tokyo Declaration on Realization of Clean Cities and Clear Skies is now adopted. And that brings the forum to a close. Ms. Koike, Ms. Clark, distinguished guests, and all the participants, thank you all for your fruitful discussion. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
The meeting is adjourned.
Thank you very much, Mr. Hamanaka, the Governor Koike, our distinguished guests from foreign cities. Thank you. At this moment, we're going to rearrange tables in the venue to prepare for the press conference. So we kindly ask you to leave this room during the refreshment break. We are planning to hold a press conference, the official press conference, from 11 o'clock after this. Once everything is set up in this room, our staff will give you instructions to enter the room, so please wait outside during this break. Thank you for your cooperation and understanding. この後の共同記者会見
In order to prepare for the joint press conference, we would like to change the layout of this room. So please go out of this room during the coffee break. This press conference is going to take place from 11 a.m., 11 o'clock a.m. So once the room is ready, we will invite you back into the room. So please wait outside of the room. I ask you for your cooperation. So once again, please go out of this room while we are preparing for the press conference. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for waiting. Thank you for your patience. The press conference for the Tokyo Forum for Clean City and Clear Sky will begin in short moment. So be seated. Thank you. まもなくきれいな空と都市東京フォーラムの共同記者会見を始めさせていただきますので、どうぞご着席になってお待ちください。Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your cooperation. We'd like to begin the press conference for the Tokyo Forum for Clean City and Clear Sky in short moment. So please be seated. 皆様大変お待たせいたしました。
Thank you very much for waiting. I would like to start with the joint press conference of the Tokyo Forum on Clean City and Clear Sky. Please be seated and wait for some time, some more minutes. Thank you.
We are now going to begin a joint press conference by the distinguished participants of the Tokyo Forum for Clean City and Clear Sky. We will start by asking each of the participants to share some comments. Then we will open the floor for questions. First, I'd like to begin by asking Ms. Yuriko Koike, Governor of the host city, Tokyo, to make a comment.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to share, or I would like to make some comments, only for 2 minutes, on this historical Tokyo Forum for Clean City and Clear Sky. A short time ago, we concluded a 2-day conference in which the city leaders and representatives in attendance engaged in very active discussions, and I believe these interactions were quite productive, thanks to your contribution. And during my opening remarks and at the plenary session, I spoke of the importance of advancing environmental initiatives in an integrated manner through the elements of Shingi-tai, that is, changing awareness, technological innovation, and system and policies. I also spoke about 2 initiatives that Tokyo Metropolitan Government will be undertaking in future, creating Team Mottainai and increasing zero-emission vehicle sales share in Tokyo. These initiatives received positive feedback from all of the attendees. In the Tokyo Declaration, we incorporated the vision of realizing clean city and clear sky by sharing the Mottainai concept and taking other steps, and this was met with agreement from all parties. Tokyo Metropolitan Government is convinced that sustainable cities will save our planet and will continue doing its part to achieve the SDGs. To that end, we will be hosting a C40 workshop and taking other concrete steps at a working level. From here on, we will be building legacies for Tokyo 2020 Olympics and Paralympics Games and beyond, upgrading our environmental initiatives and sharing these with other cities around the world. Now we hope to pass these legacies on to Paris and Los Angeles. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Koike, for your comment. Moving on, I'd like to hear comments from other mayors and governors, followed by deputy mayors in the alphabetic order of the cities. First, may I invite Her Excellency Honorable Ms. Zandiru Gumede, Mayor of Durban, to make comments.
Thank you so much. On behalf of C40, I would like to congratulate my colleague, who is also the Vice Chair of C40, for the successful Tokyo Forum. It was really empowering. We always say, if you educate a woman, you educate a nation. We are really empowered. You have really shown a woman's power. I just want to say, together we can do more. All what have been said in this conference, we really appreciate as mayors of the world. I don't want to repeat what have been said. With those few words, congratulations, my sister. I thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Zandiru Gumede, for your comment. Next, I would like to invite His Excellency Secretary K.S. Won, Secretary for the Environment of the Hong Kong Special Administrative Region Government.
Okay, thank you, TMG, for organizing the Tokyo Forum so the cities can get closer together to make cities cleaner, greener, and also to fight against climate change. Cities are about our common future in view of climate change. We need to work together. C40s and events like Tokyo Forum would help to put cities together closer. Similar to Olympic Games or Olympic venues, cities are concentration of people, activities, and even gold and silver. Unlike Olympic Games, that we would like to have more positive collaboration between cities for our common good, to make the air cleaner, reduce waste, and to address climate change. C40s would help us to share knowledge, innovations, policies, and systems. One thing is very critical is that we are running out of time, that we have to set target, timeline, and work together. Otherwise, it would be too late. So we have to work on that, similar to the Olympic Games, that we have to work together, run faster. Leaders could be the environmental champions. Otherwise, game over. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Won, for your comments. Next, I would like to invite His Excellency Mr. Ronnie Tay, Chief Executive Officer, National Environment Agency, Singapore.
Global challenges in environmental sustainability, such as climate change, waste management, and pollution control, have brought countries and cities closer together, and we recognize the urgency of coming together to take action to address these challenges. In that regard, international platforms such as the Tokyo Forum for Clean City and Clear Sky are invaluable, as they provide the opportunity for leaders from around the world to learn from one another and discuss effective solutions for sustainability. Indeed, there's no better place to hold this forum than Tokyo, a model, sustainable, and clean city. We have certainly had good in-depth and open sharing and discussions among all participants over the last 2 days of the forum. Drawing from our collective experience, the insights gained are useful in seeding ideas and shaping our future plans and policies on sustainability. Very importantly, the friendships built and strengthened during this forum form the basis for further collaboration between cities and the co-creation of regional and global solutions. Finally, I would like to congratulate Governor Yuriko Koike and the Tokyo Metropolitan Government on a most successful forum, and take this opportunity to thank them for their very kind hospitality. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Tay, for your comments. Next, I would like to invite His Excellency Sergei Zivachkin, Governor of Tomsk.
most respected representatives and the governor, Ms. Koike. I think this was a wonderful event conducted that we learned the three words, Shingitai and Mottainai. These key words are excellent words. And also that we would like to use these terms for our activities in our communities. And there is a proverb of Russia that is that seeing is believing. That is that through our own eyes that we could confirm here in Tokyo, and also that our observation in Tokyo convinced us it's a wonderful city. And Ms. Koike, you have done a wonderful job. We realize this, and we can take a very important thing back home. Clean city, clear sky. And the residents of Tokyo have a very clean heart as well. And thank you very much, Governor, once again for your hard work.
Mr. Jivachkin, for your comment. Next, I would like to invite His Excellency Maung Su, Mayor of Yangon.
First of all, I would like to thanks to this conference that is making me more knowledge what we have to do for the near futures. I'm starting to talk with the initiative. So from the initiative, we are now still in the crossroads, between the incinerations and the 3 hours problems. If we have too much incinerate, there maybe we can get the electricities, but on the other side, we have to face with the air pollutions and water pollutions from the ash. Another one is when we are talking about on the 3 hours. 3 hours are, the very optimum process for our country. But we have to consider about the one question is, can we provide or can we utilize the fully 100% for the 3 hours? Because 3 hours are very difficult to apply in the realities. So if 3 hours are best rather than incinerations. So we have to consider the crossroad, and also we have the opportunity cost between the incinerations and 3 hour utilization. So in this conference, we have learned and we have studied too much from each other. That's how to make the optimum process for our countries about the waste management. And also thanks to the mayor of the governor of the Tokyo, and also much time to the TMG that give me the chance to make a process for our development of the Yangon city. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Maung Su. And next, I would like to invite Mr. Nguyen Van Su, Vice Chairman of Hanoi People's Committee.
Cảm ơn bà Koike và Tokyo.
Governor Koike, thank you very much for your contribution. And it was a very impressive, fruitful forum, indeed. And also that the Tokyo Declaration has been a very significant one for each and every participant.
Thank you, Mr. Nguyen Van Su, for your comment. Next, I would like to invite Mr. Patrick Krugman, Deputy Mayor of Paris.
Thank you. First, I'd like to congratulate Governor Koike for incredible leadership and gathering us for these past 2 days on this amazing conference. I think Paris, Tokyo are now Olympic cities, and Governor Koike demonstrated that being an Olympic city is not just only about sports environment, and she invited us to recycle our past phones to make the medals of the next Olympics. And same, environment is just not a climate issue, and this Tokyo Declaration on Clean Cities and Clear Skies shows that it's all matter, a global matter on environment, climate, but also social and economic issues. And we all go back to our cities with this amazing motto that I would like to quote in Japanese, which is, sorry, mottainai, which means too precious to waste. And it's, I think, it's the best definition on this declaration that we have, which is also about tradition, bringing the future, and the future of a better environment. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Krugman, for your comments. Next, I would like to invite Ms. Jess Miller, Deputy Lord Mayor of Sydney.
Thank you. Congratulations, Governor Kokai. Again, you've demonstrated that you have a very deep understanding of your people and your culture. First, you innovated the Cool Biz initiative, and now you introduce us to Motunai. So congratulations. The legacy of the Olympic Games in Sydney was a fundamental shift in the way that the city conceived of itself. Environmentalism became the new normal, building standards greatly increased, and our emissions began to come down. So as you embark on your Olympic journey, Tokyo, I look forward to seeing what the lasting legacy of this Games will be for you. I'd also like to commend the amazing agreement that we've come together. It's a real commitment to improving the lives of many, many citizens. As representatives of millions of people collectively, we as city leaders have a right and a responsibility to be impatient when it comes to climate change. To echo the Lord Mayor of Sydney, Clover Moore, we must do twice as much in half the time, and Sydney, along with the leaders here today, are very much committed to that. We know that the enemy of sustainability is convenience, and like every athlete, we know that to win a medal and to take the prize, we must sacrifice, we must work hard, and we must work as a team. The motivation that we have here today is to achieve a clean city and clear sky. And we know the battle that we must fight is against climate change. So I'm very honoured to be surrounded by such an incredible support team of other leaders and, of course, the C40 team who enable much of this work to happen. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Miller, for your comment. それでは最後に横浜
So finally, I would like to have comment from Mr. Kobayashi, Deputy Mayor of City of Yokohama. I am Kazumi Kobayashi, Deputy Mayor of City of Yokohama. So Yokohama is an advanced city. Tokyo is an advanced city in terms of environment in Japan, representing Japan. To have this forum being organized in Tokyo is quite significant for the city's environment as well as for the global environment. And this forum has shown the next necessary step forward towards that goal. And I represent the city of Yokohama, and in this conference I have confirmed the importance of the collaboration among cities, and the environment requires participation of all of the stakeholders. All of the stakeholders need to come together, and the network among cities is essential. And in September of this year, Yokohama City is going to uphold the new action plan for zero carbon Yokohama. And through the network of C40, which is the city's intercity network, through such a network, I'd like to make a proactive contribution to such pledge. So Governor Koike and all others who organized this forum, thank you very much for inviting me to this opportunity.
小林様ありがとうございました。
Thank you, Mr. Kobayashi. Next, we would like to move on to the Q&A session. But before that, I'm very, very sorry, but I forgot to introduce myself. And I'm the MC of the joint press meeting. My name is Hamanaka. And in the morning yesterday and this morning of that general meeting, I have been the moderator. That I'm a chair of the ICLE. This consists of 1,500 the local governments all over the world are keen on the environmental improvement. I'm the chair of the ICLEI Japan of the Japanese Secretariat. How do you do? Now, the questioning answer session. That if you have any questions, anybody that will raise a hand, and also that who that you pose your question to, and identify yourself and say the question. So in this order. Anybody from the floor?
はい、どうぞ。
Go ahead, sir. Oh, ma'am. Kamura from Kyodo Press. Two questions to Koike. Governor Koike, how are you going to translate the declaration policy? And one more point is that yesterday, team mo tainai, that the team and zero that emission vehicle accounts for 50% of the new purchase of the cars. Why did you bring this up to the policy? And your reason for this policy is behind of the reason, and also that how to implement them. I would like to answer in Japanese. First of all, that I organized that the international committee and 22 cities representatives have participated in the international the conference, and we compiled the Tokyo Declaration, and we expect that, well, that at the suitable speed, but the direction is the same, that the 22 representatives committed to implement this declaration. A clean city, clear sky vision, sharing that the vision is a big achievement for this time, and also for the city government, metropolitan government into the future, that for each and every item that we would like to advance in a concrete way. As you have questioned, ma'am, that the team Mottainai establishment of this, and that the zero emission ZEB, that the sales to be accounted for 50% by 2030 of the sales of the new cars. That was the declaration. And through these concrete policies that we would like to advance at the level of that, the improvement activities of environment of the Tokyo, as I have mentioned also, that for the legacy of the 2020, that we will hand over to the Paris 2024 and Los Angeles in 2028 in this way. That we would like to create the steps like this. And with this in our mind, that we would like to push forward. More specifically, ZEV, zero emission vehicle, by 2030, will account for the 50% of the sales of the new cars, which is, of course, a very ambitious number, I know. But already that each nations and each cities have already that committed to the very ambitious hurdles, to tide over the hurdles. Well, some people, well, that you don't have to worry about that, why you cannot do so, but you have to consider how you can do something. So we would like to prepare the environment for the achievement. This is a very ambitious and aggressive statistics. And by doing so, that Japan and Tokyo can prove herself to be the leader of the world. And we would like to assume such role. Global environmental issue is that knows no borders. So in this sense, that by Tokyo leading this global environmental improvement, so that Tokyo and Japan can contribute for the benefit of the global community. That's what we expect anyway. That the team Mottainai consists of NGO, volunteers, and companies, and also experts. We encourage them to participate and to adopt the network, and also the flexible skills of the private sector this is a framework of the alliance of creating activities in many fields, in many of the fields with wisdom, and also the commitment and motivation and skills, and also the system can be contributed by the team members to grapple with the many different types of the environmental issues and try to find the solutions so that they can, lead us to at least one step forward. We would like to create the engine of the team Mottainai. No, engine is a bad word because engine uses the gasoline.
Thank you very much, Governor Koike. Any other questions?
はい、どうぞお願いいたします。
Hi, my name is a reporter and writer from Japan Times, and I would like to ask a couple of questions to Tokyo Governor Koike. Tokyo Olympic and Paralympic will be held within 2 years, and then is there any specific and clear goal set by 2020 you would like to achieve among the vision and challenge discussed in this symposium? And then how these 22 other cities, including Tokyo and Yokohama, can collaborate to achieve such a goal?
So for the 2020 Olympics and the Paralympic Games, we have a lot of targets towards that year: CO2 reduction and also food loss or food waste. And the deadline for this is 2030, but we would like to have the food loss. So these are specific targets. So we are going to host those games. And that means that not only environmental policies, but also because we are a very big city here in Tokyo, Tokyo really needs to move forward for addressing those challenges as a big city. And it is a very good opportunity to involve all of these citizens. And I'm certain that by way of doing so, the Tokyo legacy is going to be distributed across the world. And we would like to make the best use of this timing, Tokyo 2020. Thank you very much.
他にご質問。
Thank you very much. Are there any other questions? No? Nothing in particular? If it is the case, if we exhausted the question, that this concludes my mission as an MC. Thank you very much for your cooperation. Thank you very much, Dr. Hamanaka.
Move on to the final photo shoot. それではおしまいにフォトセッションを執り行います。Governors and mayors on the stage, please rise and wait for a moment as we clear the stage to prepare for the photo shoot. Thank you very much for your cooperation, and please do stay on the stage.